Alrighty, so if you weren't able to figure it out already, what we're going to try to do now in this video is to get the board so that it has coordinates drawn on it. So I want to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this particular board, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down. And then it should work for any size board, right? So if I make it like a 3 by 3, then I just want it to say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? I'm going to start with along the top because I think that's going to be the easiest. So let's go on to, this is going to be just in print board. We only need to mess around with print board to get the coordinates along my tic-tac-toe board here. This one is to print each item in the sublist, except for the final item list, which will go on the next line. Right, so this is where I'm making the loop to go the horizontal way. Also, I'm going to change this from an underscore to a dash. I think a couple videos ago I made it underscores because I had like an extra space there and it looked weird, but now I think the dash actually looks better. Yeah, I like that more. Okay. So yes, this loop over here is printing it horizontally. And I think just before I print anything, what does this one do? Oh, geez, this is a whole loop for printing the entire, okay. So this is the loop for each horizontal row. So outside of this loop is where I'm just gonna print my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make another loop for like numbers, whatever, for num in, and then I'm gonna say just the board. For num in height, in range height. So this is going to get a number for, it's just going to loop with a new number starting at 0 until I get to the length of height. Height and width are the same thing because I always made it a symmetrical board. You know, if I put in 3, it's a 3 by 3, 5, it's a 5 by 5. So that should be good. And then just, it's going to be a single loop, and I'm just going to say print num. And then I'm going to do plus, I'll say print str num because it's going to start as a integer. So I'll make it a string and then a space. Anything after that, I'm just going to say end equals and then nothing. I don't want to have anything. Actually, really, I could just do print, ooh, this is going to make it a little nicer. Print num, get rid of the plus quotes because the end will be what I add the space with. And I think that should do it. Let's try. That's gross. Okay. At the end of this, I need to have a blank print so that it goes on to the next line. After that loop. 3 by 3 board. 0, 1, 2. Looking good, except the spacing needs to work a little bit more. So maybe if I just put 2 spaces here, that'll do it. 3 by 3. That is good looking. Let's see if it goes nicely, the 2 spaces with a 5 by 5. Nope. Doesn't look good. The 2 spaces is starting to go too far. So if I just do 1 space, does it look good with a 5 by 5? Like, almost. Maybe I do a before all of it, I need to start with 1 space maybe at the beginning. Print space and equals nothing. I think the 1 space at the start is going to make it look okay. So we're going to try running this again as a 3 by 3. 0, 1, and 2 looks okay. Do it again as a 5 by 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 looks pretty good. If I try a 7 by 7, yeah, this is staying in line. This is good enough for me. Oh. I'm going to start with 2 spaces because we're about to add an extra space at the front because it's going to be a number now going down each column. So there it is, right? Before we print our board, we're just going to print our entire top row with the coordinates. I guess I started with 0 instead of 1 like I showed in the pictures, but it's the same thing, right? So this is like, cool. Oh, shoot, that's the wrong comment syntax for Python. So coordinates along top of board. And now here's the loop for going. So this first loop is going to say, all right, for each sublist in the board. So this bigger outer loop is doing these guys over here. Boom, 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 boom. The getting to each column. And then in this inner loop, that's when it does horizontal. So before the inner loop, right before the inner loop happens, actually, I think it's just going to be this space over here. Yeah, it's just going to be this space over here. And if I just print, instead of a space, if I just print, I already have an item counter. If I just print item counter, that should do it. And I won't even need a second space here, I think. I think it's going to be perfect. We'll find out. If I just run this 3 by 3, the item counter is always 1. That's not good. Oh, duh, I reset the item counter. The item counter is to reset in there. I want the list counter. So instead of item counter, we're going to do list counter. List counter, you'll remember from earlier in a previous video, it was up here, and that was for counting each one. For each like list as I go this way. I definitely want a space after this, so I'm going to do list counter, end with a space, and then it should look okay. Let's try it. 3 by 3. Why does that look so gross? I don't like that. So it's pushing all of those. So I think what I just need is a space before these guys. So before I print the horizontals, I'm going to print a, can I just do end equals space? Is that a thing? For 3 by 3, yes. Oh, why did I get rid of that second space there? All right, so we're going along here. Think the 2 spaces are going to be good. It's probably not going to be good. I probably want to do, oh, well, yeah, that looks good. Let's try it as a 7 by 7. That is looking pretty rad. The only problem is I start with a 0 here and a 1 over there, and I got to choose, do I want this first coordinate to be 0, 0, or do I want it to be 1, 1? I'm probably just going to do 1, 1 at the start instead of 0, 0, because I think that's a little easier. Just right over here, I would just do num plus 1 instead of having to, if I did 0, 0, I'd have to start the list counter at 0 over here, and then I'd have to change my boundaries over here, I think, and maybe a couple other places. But this plus 1 should take care of it. So let me try running this again. As a 3 by 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. As a 5 by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As a 7 by 7, I think this looks good, and it's going well. All right, so yeah, we edited our print board. We had to do coordinates along the top of the board. That was easy enough. We just made a new little loop, and with some space at the beginning before the loop, so that they lined up nicely with the spaces that come from the extra counter there. And then just right before this other loop where I do the horizontal sublist for each one, I just printed out the list counter, which says, all right, we're on the first list and the second list and the third list that we had from a previous video. And I'll put a little comment here saying printing coordinates, what do I say, along left side of board. And that's it. So I've got my full tic-tac-toe board with coordinates ready to go. The next video, now that we have coordinates that the user can see, is to let users type in and actually start, getting to edit the board, and then we'll start talking about checking to see who wins or loses. Yeah, that's the video.